happy and entity. That's why suffering arises. Now friends, all of you know what is anicca, dukkha, anatta. Buddha says once somebody realizes these three truths, then that person attains enlightenment. How many of you have attained enlightenment today? Any one of you here? If not, why? You did not understand what I said, is it? That's why, is it? No, friends. Truth should be realized in three successive stages. What we know is only data. So this stage is known as Suttamaya Panya. We collect data. When you go to school, you collect data. When you go to university, you collect data and you get a certificate. I'm having this degree or that degree. So you are collecting data. So when it comes to the Dhamma, knowledge about three characteristics of nature, knowledge about Four Noble Truths, knowledge about dependent origination, this is the data. This knowledge is not the correct knowledge. This is not the final knowledge. This is kindergarten level. So what you know now is some information, some data within you. So now you know what is anicca, dukkha, anatta. So these are the data. Now you have to develop it to the second level. This is known as Chintamaya Panya. You have to scrutinize it, you have to analyze it, you have to think about it, you have to penetrate about it deeply, Dhamma Vicaya. You have to analyze this Dhamma. Then you will get the second type of wisdom. Today onward, whatever come across, you try to see it with anicca, dukkha, anatta. Try to apply it. When you come across a younger boy or girl, you think, I too was like him once in my life, but now I'm older than him. When you see somebody who is older than you, you may think, yes, I'm younger than him, but sooner or later I will reach his age. When you go to hospital, when you see somebody is suffering from sicknesses, think, I'm healthy now, but sooner or later possibility is there that I may fall sick. When you see a dead body, you apply to yourself, I may die any time. Whatever you come across through your sense faculties, understand this is changing. It's not a permanent entity, and once I cling to it, it's subjected to suffering. Whenever you think in thus, you develop the second type of wisdom. I think many of you have heard Isaac Newton. One day while he was sitting under apple tree, one apple dropped to the ground. He thought about it deeply and he found the theory of the gravity. The problem is he the first man whom to see that an apple dropped to the ground? No. So what's the difference between he and you? That man, the Isaac Newton, he was thinking deeply about it, so he realized it. Another incident, I think many of you have heard how one of the scientists found out measuring the density of the irregular objects with this man who got into a bathtub and the water flow off, and at that moment he used this technique to find it, and he got into the street naked, saying, Eureka, Eureka, I found it, I found it. Who is that? Archimedes, is it? Yeah, Archimedes. What happened to him? At that moment he was thinking deeply how to solve this problem. And he developed the second wisdom, Chintamaya Panya. You have heard our Bodhisattva, Prince Siddhartha. One day while he was going to his pleasure park, he saw an old man Then another day he saw a sick man, another day he saw a dead body, and so on. Those four sides, a monk and all this. But what do you think? Do you think, friends, that is the first day this Bodhisattva saw an old man, a sick person, and a dead body? Do you think among his relatives there was no any old person? I'm quite sure his father is older than him. Yes or no? Can be? Can King Suddosana be older than Prince Siddhartha? So what does this mean? This means, legend says this, but you have to understand it in a deep way. What does it mean is, that's the first time in his life he started to think deeply, penetrate deeply into the deep inside his own mind. What is old age? What is sickness? What is death? Or, on the other hand, that is the moment he penetrated the changing process of this universe. The things are changing. Nothing is permanent. He penetrated it to the deep inside his wisdom, and he achieved the second wisdom, Chintamaya Panya. So when he left his house, kingdom, he was having the second type of wisdom. So friends, you and me, we all can develop this while living this busy life in these cities. You all can do it. Be mindful about the changing process. And third type of wisdom is the final, and that is Bhavanamaya Panya. To understand this, you have to develop your mind according to the meditation technique. You have to refine your mind, achieve one-pointedness, and use the power of your own mind to see the deep truth in your own mind using the insight meditation. And for this, you may need a proper teacher to guide you step by step. And you can develop your mind through anicca, dukkha, and anatta by applying it in your own life, in day-to-day life. Then you will see the truth to some extent. You will reduce the attachment to some extent. To what extent you reduce the greed, hatred, and delusion from the mind, to that extent you will experience the peace. To what extent you realize change in nature, unsatisfactory nature, and no atta or soullessness nature, to that extent you will experience peace and satisfaction in your life. So ultimate truth is not in another realm, it is not in another world. Nibbana is not a place that you have to be born, but it is within your body and mind, and you have to understand it and realize it by your own mind, using your own mind, developing your own mind. So wishing you all to achieve this goal. As a talk, I think this much is enough. Maybe you have got some questions to ask, so I'll open this session for question and answer. Can you pass the mic? Over there, can you? No, here.
So it happens to one of my friends. So he's a strong believer in having no attachment, because he also believed by having no attachment you have no sufferings. So what he did was he decided to stay a distance from his mom, because to him he said, if my mom died one of these days I'll be very upset. It's really a true story. So he told me, he said he's keeping a distance from his mom so that he's free from sufferings, in a sense, to prepare himself for the future sufferings. And by doing so, his mom is very upset. But to him, he still refused to give him, because that's the way of losing attachment, not to have attachment. But